question if you don't mind.
Yeah, go on.
Because it's made me think of something.
Okay.
How would you guys define unconditional love?
Ooh.
Because this is a thing. If you get to a point where you can't communicate with someone because there's something, or you guys have disagreements all the time, so you're gonna fight about something, is keeping quiet about it and saying, oh, I love you even though you do this, and you're always pointing out, oh, you can't wash your shoes on your own and I'm still with you. Is that unconditional love? Because you're still with the person? So how would you define unconditional love? Because I think when we talk about being with people, there's this idea of you love them until. So you love them until they tell you that couch is mine, but that is because it's a communication flaw. So if you're using your communication flaws as a reason to not invest in your family, is that unconditional love? And is unconditional love the same thing as blind love?
Kish has an answer for you.
I'd say unconditional love doesn't exist.
Even from your like your parents, your mother, the person who gave birth to you and has done literally everything for you.
We are talking in terms of relationship, I believe.
No, not necessarily.
She's just said
but your mother and your father, dated and you became a family. And that how does a family form unless you date someone?
But family family to child is different.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a marriage or in a relationship, there's nothing like unconditional love, because we are coming in together because you are able to do something or you are something that I'm attracted to. So in essence, you are providing that for me. If you got attracted to me because I was, let's say, I was built some other way, then I get fat, you might lose interest. Maybe being built certain way, that was the condition for your love, or being able to provide. Like if I had money, or if I was able to provide, or you saw that I'm ambitious, as you put it, I'm ambitious.
You're a go-getter.
But at the point when you realize, I was wrong. This guy
What's wrong with being a go-getter?
This guy is not ambitious as I thought. Chuck. So I believe unconditional love doesn't exist.
Okay,
I don't need to want anything. You just said it.
So,
but I okay, you want me to answer if I believe unconditional love exists and like what I think it is? Yes, I believe unconditional love exists, but I also think it takes a lot of time. And as you're working towards building that unconditional love, there are a lot of moments where it feels conditional, where it has the moment to break, it has an opportunity to break, right? And those are the moments where you're really, really tested, and your love for that person is tested, and even your love for yourself is tested. But having said that, I also think that like a lot of people don't make it to the end of that journey where you can say I love this person unconditionally. I think it takes time. I think it takes like 40 years minimum, right?
Give us the numbers.
Yeah, give us the numbers.
So according to Ken, according to Ken's 2022, 84% of couples who survive the first 10 years make it to the next 20, and then 50% of the couples that make it after 20 years make it to 30.
But how many make it to that?
How many make it to 30?
No, even in the first 10 years, how many? You're saying of the 85 that make it, how many make it?
Of all the couples in the country, I would have to say to the 10 years. You know what? Being in a relationship is hard. Like no, but like that's the thing. Like a lot of people walk into relationships thinking it's gonna be so easy. Like all I need is love and we'll be fine and love can fix all our problems. That's bullshit. You've been lied to. Your movies have lied to you. Your series have lied to you. Canadian movies especially have lied to you.
I don't understand this reference. I don't get it.
Like they have all lied to you. Love is work. It is hard, and most importantly, it is a choice that you make every day.
I guess I'm going to be a puppet and just reference something that Chris Rock said in his special. He said, only women, children and dogs are loved unconditionally. If you're a man, you have to bring something to the table for you to even get love. Literally right now, me going to the club, it will take a lot more before I hook up with a Chile. But for Chile, her being there, that's enough.
Sorry, you said
so
only?
This Chris
only women, children and dogs
But I
are
feel
loved
women
unconditionally.
are also supposed to bring something.
Yeah,
Yes,
to be honest, women are not loved
They are.
unconditionally.
And they should.
Right now,
And they should.
However much you don't see it as something, it's still something.
No, I think
You and I are together on that one, eh? I'm saying for me as a guy, I have to bring that and something else.
No, but okay, same thing for the woman, right? Like the woman also not only has to like be this demure goddess, she also has to be this sex kitty with a nice punani, right? She also has to be able to bear your children. She also has to be able to raise your children, raise them to be
and how
people who
many men have left women
Because
when
of all
they
these
find out
things.
they cannot
Have children.
That is
No,
the
according
thing
to
that
the
happens.
NBS, 1996. This is an old one, yeah, this is an old one.
An old one.
Yeah, this is an old
30 years ago, please. Please,
Because
give me
there's no
something
study that has
recent.
been done.
No, yeah. So,
We're still using this fact.
now they've commissioned that mini again. You know how the former president did a study on single mothers and all that. So he said he'll do that something like, similar to this time. Yeah. There is that because I mean, men we have this inherent need to want to continue our generation. So there are men who
But-
see that and
But so do
They
women.
run
yeah, but I'm just saying, and that's why I said I'm going to be a parrot and just repeat what Chris Rock said in his special.
Okay, so Jesus, is something you wanted to add? Because I do have
Okay,
a question.
quick question. Are we misunderstanding what unconditional love is? Because how I would understand it is everyone on this planet has flaws, right? So you're not going to meet the perfect person. I mean, the chances are that you meet someone and everything is the same about you, it's gonna probably be gross if anything else, right? That's never gonna happen. So you're going to have someone where you disagree or they have characteristics or features that you never thought you would be attracted to.
Yeah.
I think when you say unconditional love, people they think that it's
Perfect love.
these are all your flaws, but I love you no matter what. That's what you always say. No matter what, I'll always be there. I don't think that's unconditional love. I think that's blind love. You look at someone and you're just going to follow them no matter what. And that's not love because you're not going to grow that person and you're probably only going to like take yourself backwards.
Yeah.
I think unconditional love, or maybe another word, should mean I understand these are our differences or these are your challenges that maybe I don't like. And it's that ability as your partner to say, this is where I'm at, this is where you're at, these are my problems with you, and saying this is how I'm going to work to be a better person, so that this is something that you can grow to accept, or this is something we can grow to accept. Unconditional love is not ignoring someone's features or just blindly saying you're okay. I mean, if you're a killer,
Yeah,
are you
I'm
just
not gonna
going to
love
say
you
I love you?
unconditionally.
No, that's blind love.
Although-
Unconditional love should be like someone telling you, I had an urge to kill this guy, and then be like, okay, bruh, I need to take you
To the comps.
I need to take you for help, or I need to take you for help. But I need to get. That's what unconditional love should be. It should be recognizing that someone is not perfect, and maybe let me take you and get you to a place where you're supposed to be. Because no one is perfect, and to say someone lives without flaws, you're never gonna find your perfect woman, my guy. Please,
I'll
you're
wrap it
looking for that woman.
My view, as I wrap it with a bow, my final contribution towards that is divorce is a clear indication that unconditional love doesn't exist.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
It
not.
is.
Divorce is more
The fact,
complicated than
the
that.
fact that I'm like, you have your own things and we can't agree on some things, and they say irreconcilable differences. It means there's some things you've done that now I can't accept. I'm done with you. I'm like, what you did right there, you cheated or whatever. So
There's
it
some
means as a
conditions you
condition,
didn't-
you're not
you
supposed to
didn't
cheat,
meet,
right? So divorce is a monument to show
No,
unconditional love doesn't exist.
Okay, not necessarily. Like I believe that, like Annalise said, like love should not be love should not be a plaster for all flaws, right? If somebody has hurt you deeply, you should not be expected to stay with that person if you can't get over that pain, right? Because then you're hurting yourself, and then it makes it even more difficult for you to love them, right? You like, just because you get divorced doesn't mean you just stop being in love with this person, stop loving them. Divorce is really complicated.
And also, maybe divorce is just a sign that, bruh, who told you to rush into the marriage
in the first place?
Like, some people, are you honestly going to say someone who got married in January and then got married and then got divorced in December, or it was a sign, maybe it's a sign that you should have dated for that year. Clearly you rushed into it, and that's why you see so many celebrities marry and divorce, because they literally met a guy in January and then married them in March and then divorced them in December. I'm like, well, yeah. I'm like, how many goddamn dates did you go on? You didn't even know what religion he is. Like, of course you're gonna get divorced.
So like, I actually have a really good story about like why divorce is more complicated, and it comes to you from friends. Ross is a man with 3 divorces, right? Right. Divorce number friend songs. So like, divorce number 1 is because his wife at the time, Carol was gay, and like obviously
who's this guy?
Pop culture references. Do you know they have not
wait, have you guys not watched Friends?
It's such an old
Have
show.
you watched How I Met Your Mother?
White ass show.
Who watched Friends?
We were kids, we were babies.
Carol, look at my socks.
We were babies.
Kish, look at them.
I think we should
I'm
stop
a Friends fan.
making
Die
Friends
Hard.
references
No,
here.
Yeah, it's too
okay,
old.
fine.
For the Utaju
Excuse
audience.
us. Some of us are in a certain age group. Some of us in a certain age group.
I've asked a 15-year-old brother.
Fine. Let me give you another example. Tom Cruise, right? When Katie Holmes divorced him, it was because the man was a Scientologist and is a Scientologist and wanted to bring their daughter into the church. At that point, Kate was like, no. Like, my kid is not going to be anywhere near around this. And so she left the marriage. Divorce is very complicated.
I still think what I said stands, but I will not deliver that point.
All right, okay, because I do have a very interesting question for the both of you.
okay.
It comes
Three
up
of us.
actually for everyone here, because I also have some thoughts.
Don't exclude Annalise.
No, they are the same team. See, they are feminists.
Oh, those are
We're not coming as a team,
We're
guys.
not
We're
coming
coming
as a
as
team.
individuals. You guys are just like, the women here.
No, it's because
Feminists. Let me tell you, you guys wanted to put us on the same couch.
They did.
They just wanted to be like, put the
Yeah.
women on the orange couch. Put the men on the green
couch.
Feminists.
Okay.
Why will you protest everything? See, you're seated just okay.
No, I like the orange couch. I'm not complaining. I like it.
Wait, she wasn't. She was just speaking
I
with
just
passion.
make
She
it-
wasn't
I
angry. She wasn't
like it. I'm
complaining.
happy.
I'm
This
just
is my
pointing
feet.
out. I'm just pointing out how the characters of a feminist.
Okay.
Complain
Wow.
Look for
Generalizing
Let's
much.
just complain.
And these are the same men who will complain
No,
when I
no.
say all men are trash. I have a question for everyone that's here.
Okay.
And it's related to what you were saying about how like you have to do so much in a club to get somebody to even notice you, right? And the question is, can you expect men to make the first move but still demand sexual equality, right? And then what I mean by sexual equality would be like, these are just very basic examples, like you, like I as a woman making the first move, being okay to be to pay for the first date, handling all the, like the manly responsibilities, like I don't know, doing the garbage and carrying heavy things and dealing with the mechanics and things.
So we agree that these are the manly responsibilities.
Okay, look, I'm not saying that they are, but I am saying that sometimes if I'm feeling particularly lazy and I don't want to carry something heavy from the car to the house, I will call my brother to do it. I don't like it, but it's just so much work. It's so much work. I am a hypocrite, I've said this. So what do you guys think?
To me, I didn't think you came out clear on your question on.
I'm still trying.
Because I'm still trying to understand what
So I'm
are
going to
you
the club.
asking.
So like, okay, what I'm asking is, like, you know how the expectation is that, like, when you're in a club,
Yes.
a woman never makes the first move. She always waits for the guy to come to her, right? Now, can you still have that expectation of, like, as a woman, a guy always has to come to me first, and still demand equality of the sexes, and still demand that a woman should be able to do everything a guy can do, and a guy should be able to do everything a woman can do?
Yes.
Why?
We've had this discussion on a previous episode of NairoBEERns. I will find it very weird if a Chile comes to me. I'll use very rudimentary terms here. I'm the lion. I'm supposed to hunt, right? You're the Chile. You're supposed to be there looking nice, just doing this to your hair. I'm like, let me go and talk to this Chile. I'm supposed to see you and want to come talk to you.
Present yourself as a prey. A vulnerable
Yes, like, you're there for the peeking. You're there just, oh my gosh. So, man, and I'm like, okay. Let me go talk to
You have to
her.
present yourself as a vulnerable
prey.
prey.
Something like,
to come and
Yeah,
hide.
like don't put the pickup thing. You know, like,
and I'm doing my guys, I'm like, have you seen that chick over there? And they're like, yeah, go talk to her. That's how it's supposed to be. But if I'm there chilling with my boys, and there's this chile coming tapping my shoulder, like, hey, what's up, my guy? So you go there dance, I'm like, hey, you know what? I have to go home. Or something. Just tell her no.
Wait, like even if she's like a 10 out of 10, there's no but. She's a 10 out of 10.
Why is a 10 out of 10, eh?
Coming to
Come
your
to approach
seats.
me. She has to be like a 3. That's like a 2 or something, because there's no, if you're a 10 out of 10, it means every guy in that club
True.
has noticed.
True.
So if
But
they're
I've
not
chosen
coming.
you. I choose you, Pikachu.
Not today, Jose. If you come to me, I'm
so
gone.
if your Tyra Banks didn't come,
Tyra
if
Banks
your Tyra Banks came to you,
It's like, hey, Chris.
wait, what up, Megan?
Excuse me, why are we
Wait.
Why are we
Who
assuming?
was your crush?
Why are we assuming?
But guys,
we've all agreed that Tyra
Okay,
Banks
fine.
is a
No,
10
because
for
that
us.
was his crush. That's we're
But
referencing.
not a
We're
10 out of
referencing
10.
him.
but
Okay,
but
So,
like,
okay.
but like,
So we're referencing the crush.
That I'm sorry.
I have the perfect Tyra Banks pickup line. Are you ready? Hi, Chris. Do you want to know what it's like to be an America's Next Top Model?
Yeah, I used to watch that show. And it's weird because you say that because I used to be a model.
Really?
I mean, you laugh now, but people who know me will tell you. There's a place I used to work there. There was a school there. I modeled for their catalog. They took photos of me and they put them on their website and all that. So that's a modeling job. So
Okay.
in like a CV or
You're a
whatever,
model.
I've done modeling
You're a
jobs.
model.
So they're a bank, and that's why I like that. Yeah. But yeah, for me, on a serious notice, if you're a Chile, I even told Kish, wait for a guy to come to you. There's so much you can do to let me know that, hey, I'm kind of interested. But if you come to me like that, same thing will happen. I
Give
will
us
not.
an example. What can the girl do?
there are
What are
multiple ways you
the?
can
What,
present
okay, so
yourself
I'm
Kish,
just
what,
pretending.
Kish, what are the actual examples? Let's say you're at a club
Okay.
and a girl is into you. What are the signs she can give you to let you know that she's into you, but let you make the first move? Because how I would see it is if a girl made a hint to you to let you know she's into you, that's the first move. For me, that's the first move because she made a first move to let you know. It doesn't mean first move shouldn't mean who talks to someone first.
True.
First move is literally that contact of
Let me
come for
as a
me.
man, let me now explain to you how men sometimes or most men like 90
96. That's
Like KBS,
21.
KBS 21, okay.
Yeah.
96.
Yeah.
So you making your move or not making your move, like as a guy I'm going to a club, maybe my aim is I'll get a chile home with me tonight. So you making your move will just be a plus to me because at the end of the day I'll get a chile. You make your move or don't make your move, you don't have to show your way. You don't have to show like you like this guy or anything. That will be a plus. Like that will make the work easier for him. Because like he said, as a lion, you're just born to hunt.
Okay, but
That's
what I'm asking
you're going to a club to look for chiles.
fans.
Like for the fans,
So
for
we're saying
the
it's
women, we
for the
want to
women
make
that
sure.
have been watching
And listening, and also
NairoBEERns
listening to
and have been watching you guys and want to know how to make a move on you guys
like, we
because
wanna
they've been
know.
watching you guys for a while and you guys have some women fans. And the question is, what they wanna ask, what we're asking, because we're trying to hook our girls up behind the screens, is if there's a girl and she's into you and she sees you at a club and she's heard you say she can make the first move, what and maybe you like her if you know clubs are crowded.
Yeah.
There's so many people. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to pick out a pretty girl sitting on a chair, right? So and beauty is the eye holder. So you know,
Covering all your bases.
let's say a girl is interested and she's sitting far away in a distance, and you cannot, as a man, necessarily see her because of the physicalities of your space. How can a girl make herself aware to you in a way that you feel she's not overstepping?
Okay, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, because I thought this is what you said and this is what I understood from what you said. Don't make the move. We will find you.
No, but like what Annalise is saying is that even
I'm just saying, don't do it.
What do you mean?
So
So I just sit there minding my own
Kish, if I'm
business.
very interested
Just
in
mind
you,
your
and
business.
let's say I'm sitting so
I'll find
far
you.
away that you
I'll
can't
find
find.
you.
But what if
But
you
like,
can't?
how do I
Because
bring
if
you to
we're in
me?
a club where there's 3,000
Women
people,
do that.
let's say I spot. Okay, let's say you're at a concert, right?
Yeah.
Where there's millions of people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, hundreds of people.
But a shit ton of people.
Right? And let's say I see you in the in the ticket line, but we're in two different ticket lines, right? And I see and I'm like, this guy, and maybe for a second you glanced at me and I felt right? And then I think, okay, I would like for you to maybe make a move, right? But how can I do that if suddenly we're in different spaces? You might not see me. I can't make a move, and I don't know how to find you.
Exactly.
And this hope of will you find me? So I just wait for you to decide whether or not you'll find
If I
me.
don't find you,
Sorry.
No, okay.
unlucky, you're
No,
lucky.
no.
It wasn't
But
your day.
but-
Come the next time, I'll find you.
Come next time. Next time we go for another concert.
I'll find you.
Kish is limited edition. Listen.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I'm saying is, I believe Mwangi will tell us what's his view. I believe what we are saying is, just sit there, present yourself. You don't have to do anything.
But how do you
Okay,
So what we're asking is, how do you present
We
yourself?
want you. Like that's the thing. Like
What we're asking is, what do you, when you say present yourself, what does that mean? How can a girl present herself?
yeah.
For you, when you see a girl presenting herself,
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Like how do okay?
Because you might see a girl that you're into,
Okay, you know what?
but let's say
You know
she's
what? This is a
married,
very
she's in a
frustrating
relationship,
question.
but you might want a girl that's single, right? So how can a single woman present herself
Yeah.
to you? That's what the single
Or-
women are asking
or
right
the-
now.
or-
How can single women present themselves to men?
Are you really asking this?
They are.
or the alternative is how do you know not to approach a woman, right? Because there are certain women who you just like, you could just tell from vibes, this one so clearly if you know which women not to approach, you know which women to approach, right? So answer the question, please.
I feel I'll just evade the question. I'm
Why?
not evading. No, let me tell you. Because there's no proper way of conducting yourself. I won't tell you, oh, do your hair like this. Maybe you don't have hair to show it out. There's no like a marking scheme of like, yes, this is tick, 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 tick. It's based on the environment you are, the vibes,
The guy.
place, So there's no a single answer I'll say, no, yo, just smile or just wave at me. There's nothing like that. Because different places or different scenarios will present different vibes.
And so you mean to tell me before you get your explanation that both of you, if a woman were to come up to you and be like, hey, I think you're really cute, here's my number, why don't you give me a call sometime, we'll grab lunch, like that is a surefire thing. Like you have a woman who's demonstrated an interest, she's told you, I if you call me I will pick up your phone, I will pick up the phone. You both of you would be like,
I don't know. For me, I'd say personally, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay on that. I'm also okay with that.
okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so again, what we're talking here, this is the KEBS 2021 report. Yeah, what happens is there are guys who want to be approached,
Yeah.
and there's that subset of guys. There are others who are quote unquote traditional. They want to do the approaching. Now, if in that setting and you've seen a guy across the room and you want to talk to him, just make yourself visible. That's very important. Pass. If you're in a club setting, just pass there. Let him know you. Let him smell your cologne or whatever or perfume. these are the things you do subliminally, talking to him, and he will think that him approaching you was an organic thought. Like, oh, I'm the one who went and talked to her. But you send those two vibes. But you walking up to him, telling him, hey, Bana, here's my phone. You call me, I'll pick up. Don't get it twisted. He'll take your number. He'll take your number. That's an easy lay for him.
That's 101 presenting yourself as a prey. Because you'll just see, like, there's an injured.
It's an injured gazelle. So let me show you what we'll do with injured gazelles. You eat the gazelle. So if you do that,
I should go for the gazelle stage to eat her.
Oh, you'll be eaten and then he will go. But if you want something long term, and I'm not saying that these other things I should think long term, but if he thinks that it was organic thought, that he saw you, he liked you, he approached you, he changed your mind or convinced you to be, so he'll even value you more. That is how men look at things. Like, but in this Chile, I had to work to get her not hard to get myself. Right? I'm the one who saw the Chile and I chased her and I wore her down and she's now mine. There's a sense of pride in that.
Wore her down?
Yes, so you go for a date, you're like, no, I'm working today.
There's a difference between wearing somebody down and charming them.
Okay, let's use your words, charming. I charmed her to a point where
we're dealing with feminists.
No, but for real, there's a difference between wearing someone down until they're like, okay, fine, fuck it, yes.
No, there's that. So there's a quote that goes, persistence weakens resistance. You can have you ever seen a couple, either the guy or the Chile, one of them is like a straight 10, then the others are like, what? How in the world did this one and that one end up together? Is because you were always there, you were always talking to her, whatever. But you know what? There's something in this guy.
Or in the case of Pete Davidson, you could just have big dick energy. Like, you can tell when a guy has big dick energy.
That's being a 10.
I think
that's a 10 on the guy.
Wait, Kim approached Pete.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it happened.
Honestly, I had no idea who these people were. I was just
don't be a beauty.
I don't follow
Kim Kardashian.
I don't follow the
she's
kids.
The one.
I actually don't know who these people are.
Who went into Nani's Nini
DMs.
Yeah.
And then
this girl was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. She got what she needed and she's
now
out.
We follow the Kardashians now. We've moved to friends now. We are Kardashians.
I'm just using an example. A high profile person.
And somebody that just doesn't make sense. A relationship aesthetically.
High profile.
Compared to Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
No, you can't compare. But he was also
SNL or whatever. So he used to do those things. But my advice to women is, don't personally, this is what I'll tell you. Don't. But there's a group of guys who like that, and that's the only thing they want. They'll go to a club looking nice. Just try. But if this guy gets what he gets and then he leaves, don't say men are trash. Sit down and ask yourself, why did this guy go? Where did I go wrong in this approach, whatever? But I mean, it is what it is. Just make yourself visible. That's my advice. Make yourself visible. Pass there, twirl your hair, smile, whatever. Just dance provocatively, kidogo. I don't know.
Present yourself.
Present. Men are very visual. If I see you twerking, I'm like, hey, she can twerk, man. Say, go twerk with her.
Also, women have mastered this art of making men feel like they are the one who initiated it.
Yeah.
But in real essence, the woman is the one who. So, by you presenting yourself,
which is what you said. This is what she said like 5 minutes ago.
No, she wants it to be overt. All I'm saying is, I want you to make me think. I want you to make me think.
But that's exactly what she said 5 minutes ago. That's what she said 5 minutes ago.
Remind us for a quick minute.
That's right.
Remind us. Because she wants the women to actively
No. Okay, no. Before asking Kish, sorry, go on. It's your point to explain.
Okay,
respond to that because I'll ask my question later.
Okay, fine. So to my recollection, before Annalise was asking Kish, like, what is it that a woman can do to present herself? She prefaced it with the whole thing of like, well,
a concert and
not even a concert. Like, even before a guy comes to approach a woman, like a woman has done something to make him think that this is already the move that she she wants him to make. So what is it that a woman can do to get a guy to come and approach?
That's what I was telling
so that
you.
so that we insect the idea of you coming to us.
Make yourself busy. That's
But
all.
okay, what we're asking is literally
Just like
you're
what?
saying when you say make yourself visible for girls that do not know what that means. We have no experience dating. Let's say I do not have any experience dating. This is my first time. I'm hearing all of these ideas from men and women about how to put yourself out there, and what I'm hearing from a man is present yourself, make yourself visible. What I'm asking, because I have no clue how to do that, when you say make yourself visible, how? Like, give me actual advice. Do I go put makeup? Do I put peacock feathers around me? Like, tell me what making myself visible means. And not just in a situation where you know someone, because that's maybe a bit easier. But let's say you're in a situation where you've seen someone, a stranger, at a bar, right? What does making yourself visible, what does presenting yourself mean? So for the women that are trying to get their men's attention without necessarily overstepping on boundaries, what can they do as women to get that? How, as a woman, can I show you my attention for you in a way that you'll accept it? In a way that you'll even recognize it. That's what women are asking.
And I'm answering and saying,
aside us from having twerking sessions,
why are you fighting
like,
that?
how can we do that?
Okay, so
It's also a form of
no.
presenting yourself.
Okay, so the problem with like doing those twerking sessions is because then some men might get the wrong message.
And it will be a sexual message.
And then then
so, but if I want to legitimate get
that's your
to
aim,
know
right?
you, but let's
Fine,
say
that's my aim,
legitimate want to get to know you, I think I'm someone that's looking for a relationship. Right, and I'm not going to a bar, or let's remove in bar, because bar implies clubs and dancing, right?
Yeah. Let's talk about church.
No, but let's not go, because church has a lot of restrictions. Let's say a restaurant. Let's say a restaurant, right? Or a picnic even. And you're in a very PG setting, right? There's not a lot of. There's no drinking, really. There's no smoking. So a lot of things that bring people to sexual things have been removed, right? The way you conduct yourself, you're conducting yourself very well aware that you're in a very PG setting, right? How then can a woman come to a guy in a way that men want to see women approach themselves in today's world? Like, in today's world, how can a woman come to a guy without straight up saying, I like you, or I'm interested in you, or whatever the lingo is? I don't know. I don't know what the slang is of today. But if that's not an option of a woman just straight up approaching a guy and hitting on a guy straight up, how can she send him subtle signs for him to pick up on? Because you're not necessarily going to pick up on every woman in a room that's interested in you, right? That means you must enter, as a man, you must enter a room and constantly scan every woman. That's a lot of work, and maybe that's what men do, I don't know. But let's say one day, God forbid, you can't do that, and a woman is there, and she might be the woman you've been waiting for all your life. But you've walked in, you've come in with your boys, you've entered this side of the corner of the room, right? Of the party, or the restaurant, or the picnic, right? And then her and her people on the other side. But there's something there.
So
how can she connect to you without straight up, because you don't want a woman that will just come up straight up and tell you she's interested in you, right?
You said you don't mind a woman coming straight.
But you also say that, like, if a woman were to do that,
But let me just answer.
okay, fine. Answer.
If I may repeat, this is what I say. There are no like book of 10 ways to present yourself. Like we said, it depends with the vibe, it depends with where you are, it depends with how this guy is conducting himself. You see. So I can't say, come here and say, oh no, women, present yourself, then do your hair like this, I'll notice. No, it depends with where you are, the environment, situation, the weather that day. There are so many things, So the safe way to put it is just show up, present yourself. If for the single women,
that is of no help to the women that will
No.
never
Okay,
met
I'll give you help. I'll give you help, Annalise, yeah? Number one, let's say you're at a picnic, right? The one thing I was telling you is make yourself visible. Are you in a place where he can see you and you can see him? That's number one.
Okay, so if he goes to the table, you go to the table.
No, not necessarily.
No.
Just be at a place where he can see you. So,
Present yourself.
I'm here talking to Kish, but then if I used to look that side,
There you
I see
are.
that chill over there.
So you're in line
Yes.
6. Okay.
Then you can also...
Number 1, ladies.
No. Oh, yeah. That's
Number
number
one.
Number 2, move around. You can move around so that you know,
smells
can
you.
smell you.
You
I
also
can
see
see
the
you. I can
emotion.
see the emotion. I can see that dumps like a truck or whatever. That's also
What?
important, right? Number 3, go talk to him, but talk to him about something very mundane. For example, at a picnic, right? You can even go ask him a question. For example, hey, by the way, do you know what time this park closes? For example, right? It's like I don't know, maybe 7 p.m. or whatever. And that way, there's already now a connection that you guys have created, so you can come to the day.
So she's gotten your attention as a human.
Yes, but not going there telling you, guy, I like you guys.
It's just presenting yourself.
Yeah, okay.
As Chris say, you might go and ask a question.
Okay,
then
so that's
the
what we're
question
asking.
is
What
so
does
dumb.
yes? That's
It
what we're
says
asking.
like,
What
this
does
is a
yeah?
dumb
What's wrong with
shit.
this?
So ladies,
But I'm even
it's
pissed off.
encrypted, but it's there. It's encrypted, but it's there. We're giving you the points.
Yeah, but
NairoBEERns fans,
do anything and everything.
and then
Show
Tajui
off.
fans.
You just hitting the guy, like telling him straight up, here's my number or give me your number. Don't do that. That for me, okay, no, do it for certain people, but there's some guys who will do that and that will turn them off on you. And like
For
you
the
say,
men
you
I've
ask a
given my
silly
numbers
question, you asking all these things, and clearly it's on a Monday, like, that's wrong with this children. I don't want anything to do with this person, but I mean, if you want to risk it. But just know for some guys, if you approach them that way, in their heads, it's an easy lay. So, let me just know. For some.
But
This-
some men just want the
There's
easy
no
way.
one way of. There's nothing wrong about anything. Like just do you.
Just do you.
Just do your thing.
You find somebody that will respond well
you
to
might
you.
do the silliest thing. It ends up
Becoming
this-
just like it. Like this Chile, the first time I met her, she fell in front of me and I picked her up, and that's what I like about her. So it's that.
I guess as like a last comment, maybe this is even a question, right? Let me ask a big one, and I want us not to spend a lot of time on this. Do you believe that men and women are equal? And if you do, what does equality mean to you?
Men and women are equal under the law.
Okay.
Men and women are equal according to the Bible. We are created equal and all that. But men and women are not equal in certain things. Physically, you're not equal. There are differences between men and women. So whether that is equal or not, that's for you to judge. But for me, I clearly, our differences are what makes us men and women. So we are not equal in that regard. But under the law, like God, we are equal.
Okay. Annalise?
I believe the only inequality that women and men have is in physical capabilities. And I say inequality is kind of a bad word. It seems like a bad thing. But the only difference, let me say differences. That's a better word. The only differences that men and women should have, I believe, in our physical capabilities.
Yeah.
I believe everything else we are not, but we should be.
Kish.
I believe we are not equal and we can never be equal. Not saying that there's this gender that deserves more than the other, but we are not as much as both men and women have different abilities and are important, we are not equal.
I agree with that. Even when it comes to critical thinking, logic versus emotion, women will think more emotionally, which is it's not a bad thing. In some instances,
It's a strength.
it's better that way.
I'll agree, but a conversation for
Yeah,
another
it's
day.
a conversation
For another day. We'll talk about
Ask
what
a woman,
happens
they
in
tell you.
you. No.
Because
We'll
of my
talk about
emotional
brain.
intelligence, I'm better at some things than a man.
Yes.
And then a man, because of his logical thinking, it will be
But
better in some
wait.
settings, and in others, not so.
So the reason I dispute that is because the reason why men are currently more logical and the reason why women are currently more logical is
Emotional.
because have you ever heard the story of your brain is a muscle, exercise it. So what men are taught to exercise
Is
is a logical part of their brain, and women have been taught to exercise the emotional part of the brain.
Who's this
But
teaching?
society, structures, my guy, everything. So, like, I believe if that shit were to change, because you will find women that are capable of both, and it's because they've been raised in families that exercise every aspect of a brain. So stop giving your girl only a Barbie doll and
Give her
give her a
Legos.
science set as well. Give her both, because I would like both.
I love
But
Legos.
anyway, that's a conversation for another day. AX, yours?
Okay, I guess my parting thought on that question is yes, I do believe that men and women are equal. I'm very well aware that like we do have biological differences, but like Kish, I don't want to use those differences to justify why one person should deserve more compared to another. I think that's bullshit. But I also think we should be able to get to a point in our discourse where we can agree that yes, men and women have biological differences like that. Like for example, my body retains fat better than yours, and that's just to help me. I think have children. I think nobody's really explained it to me. It's just like how like men, you guys find it a lot easier to put on muscle.
So to answer your question, men and women are different. Now, whether those differences are biological, physiological, but the answer is yes, we are different.
Yes, we are different, but that doesn't make us unequal. you don't want to anymore.
No.
I agree with you, but it's what are we defining equality as? How would you say?
No, but the question was, are we equal?
Yeah.
We are not.
Yeah, true.
Because clearly there are differences. Now,
There are
you can
differences.
now qualify and say the difference is biological, is this. But to answer the question broadly is yes, we are different. That's the broad answer.
So by the fact that we are different, we can never be equal.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's wrong.
I don't think that's right.
I think just
Equal
because we are
equal
different, like you said, difference and equality is different.
Do you want to be
You
treated
can
equal?
be different,
Men.
just like okay. Let me use let's not use men and women. Let's use race.
Okay.
I can be brown. You guys can. I might be called something else from this chat. Or I might be white. Apparently, that's what they say.
but she's
But make that judgment.
it's okay.
But I can be of a different race from you, right?
Yes.
And I go apply for a bank loan. Let's say we're both men. And then the only difference between us, we come from the same background, the same financial backing. The only difference is,
Chris.
let's say you're black. Let's say I am white. Not
Let's
this
not say
white.
you're black.
But let's say
I'm black. Yeah, what you say? I'm black and you're white. That's simple.
because I'm not connecting what I'm saying. Like okay, black. But
Yeah.
let's say
I'm blacky.
okay, let's say I have a black person, and then I have a very, very proper white person. I don't mean me white. I mean white, right?
Okay.
Let's say we're living in a country with, I think that's what's probably going to happen here. And you go for a bank loan, and everything is the same except your race.
Yeah. So like then
There's
one
your
person-
difference. You guys have difference, but you're not equal. And because the white person is gonna get the loan, and the black person is gonna be told, you need some other backing. You're not financially secure. Go find someone else that can secure you. That is inequality. You have differences, and everyone will have differences. Differences is natural. Equality is a difference. That's a different discussion.
I don't go
Equality
Yeah, we
comes
don't
through.
really have the time to go
I
deep
don't go
now.
deep into
But yeah,
that.
okay, yeah.
We'll
But
come back.
As an overview,
Yeah.
there's a reason as to why that happens. I don't support it, but I understand why it happens like that. I've watched some videos on YouTube, and they say why people go broke sometimes. There's this status.
Yeah, I get what
black
you mean.
people get
Yeah,
money,
like
they go for status
rich.
first. Yeah, they get a bling, they get a good car, whatever. When these other people get money,
They reinvest it.
most of the time.
Can I really quickly argue that very quickly?
I'd say, see, we are still here and we'll still get an opportunity.
We have a whole
yeah.
episode.
We'll come back. Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
So hapo kuna tutamalizia leo tuseme NairoBEERN podcast. Tunashukuru sana mmekuja kutujoin another episode. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Wacha comment hapo hivyo. Utapata Aileen akona episode yake utajua ujui. She's on IG.
Yes.
Utajua ujui utampata hapo, you can engage with her uongee na yeye. Mimi na Kish kama kawaida, our socials, FB, personal FB, kuna IG, AfriPods, Google Podcast, Spotify, tulijoin TikTok juzi.
No way, for real.
Yeah, so
Oh my
on
goodness,
all
are you,
platforms.
That's where the masses are.
are you gonna do TikTok dance?
That's where the views are.
You don't know
Okay,
yet.
nice.
But yeah, just engage with us on any platform that works for you. Tuko hapo hivyo. Tuongeleshe Kish ambia tukuhusu uploading schedule.
First of all, ningetaka ku-thank
Oh yeah.
the lovely ladies who joined us.
And challenged you.
I didn't feel challenged. I just had an interesting conversation.
Okay, we need to do
It was
better.
an interesting conversation where you gave your opinion, we also gave our opinion.
Okay, good.
So thank you
You're welcome.
for joining us, and I thank the Utaju Jui podcast. Yeah, and Anna for joining us. You're welcome. We take the discussion further on some important points umejaribu kuleta, but time I think
Yeah. And I guess on my end, I want to thank NairoBEERns for joining me today, and Annalise as well. This has been a lot of fun. I guess on our way out, I just want to say I believe in most of you. Those of you that want to cause harm, please don't. I don't believe in those capacities. So yeah, bye guys.
Yeah, to upload Killer Weno 3 p.m.
Yes.
new episodes, and get YouTube venye Mwas alishakuambia. YouTube na tuko Spotify, Apple Podcasts na AfriPods. Then our socials get
Twitter,
TikTok.
everywhere.
Like, share,
I'm not gonna let that
subscribe.
go.
please.
And also don't forget to review. That's also important for some algorithms.
Yes. So tukimalizia tunasemanga NairoBEERN podcast, we talk as we can.
Because we want to.